Hello everybody. Right, today is a fix it day. So my nails are really damaged. I've lost just over 3 stone in the last few months, and my nails and hair are suffering, and they're splitting and they're just not at their best. I can't grow them. They're breaking, they're ripping like paper. So I'm going to do a natural extension that looks like a non-extension, and we're going to sculpt because my nails are so uneven. Look at the state of them. It's really bad. I don't want tips. I want them to just look like natural short nails. I want to give them some support to enable them to grow and strengthen. My pinky's in great nick. It's about the only one. But this is not from doing my nails too much, because I don't often do my right hand. It is from not having any nails on. I've lost a lot of hair as well. Luckily I had loads, so it's not been an issue, but it is thin now for me. But the health of my nails is quite bad, so I am going to be taking some supplements and just kind of strengthening them. The reason why my left hand has not ripped and broken is because I constantly have Madame Glam's base coat and top coat on them, because I use my left hand to do a lot of design work on. But with the right hand, I just wanted a natural hard gel extension. So I'm lifting the cuticles and creating that pocket, that gap, so that I can get these e-file bits and start my cuticle prep. I'll try and list everything that I'm using. I don't know if Melodysusie still sell this exact e-file, but they have loads. I have loads of Melodysusie e-files as well. So this drill bit set or e-file bit set. I don't know why I say drill. It's because I heard a lady calling it a drill today. That's what it is. It's stuck in my head. That's from Amazon. I will link my Amazon storefront, and that's just got things that I use typically all the time. It's not my store. It's just the things I use. Does that make sense? Because I never understand when people go, I'll link my Amazon store, and I'm like, what, you sell this? No, it doesn't work like that. And obviously I'm using my non-dominant hand, so I'm going slowly and carefully, and the aim of this e-file bit is to bring the non-living tissue, that dry white non-living tissue, up and away from the nail plate. Pull it back, you're almost folding it open, like creating a flap. That sounds vile, but that's what I'm doing. And this bit is really good as well for finishing off that kind of flap. And also the sides, so down the sides is very dry for me. It's not so much flappy, but more crusty. This is really beautiful descriptive words coming out today. So I just need to kind of exfoliate it, and my hands need love. I'm going to take my cuticle nippers and start removing that non-living tissue. And because it's been pushed up and away, it's a lot easier to then remove. I have been looking into maybe some cuticle scissors, but I'm not sure. I think they'll be all right for me, grip-wise. I can't use scissors. They have to have like a push type mechanism. I think Katie Barnes does some. So I've been looking into those. They're a bit pricey, to be fair, especially as I don't work as a nail tech anymore. I just do this for content, so I'm not sure yet if I can justify it, but we'll see. And then I've got this polishing stone bit, which I don't use enough of because it's really good actually. And I did see somebody say that the best way to use these is either put a bit of prep powder down, which I've never used. If you've used it, let me know if you think it's any good. I don't really know anything about it. Or a bit of cuticle oil down, and you can then sort of polish, but obviously I wouldn't put cuticle oil down before applying an enhancement. I'm going to clip that free edge because it's really wonky. I've tried growing this thumb, and that left side just splits over and over. It gets to a certain length and it cannot grow. So that's why I'm going to take it all back and try and bring it all together by sculpting. I just couldn't do any more. Like, I kept filing it, and I thought, it needs a spine, it needs support in order to be strong again. I don't think my nails have ever been this bad, but they're thin, and it is not like having nails. I have not had nails. It is literally from my weight loss. It's just what happens to some people. So I'm going to go around and lift up that fold there just gently, just edging back. I don't want to push the non-living tissue under. What I more want to do is lift up that fold slightly to create that gap to start prepping around the area. I've learned a lot. I've been paying attention to some really skilled nail techs, Eastern European nail techs, who are just phenomenally talented, like with the Russian manicure style and stuff. And their explanations make so much sense. So I am always learning, and I don't think we ever know everything, do we? Because just when you hit your peak, you see somebody and you're like, wow, I want to be like you. I literally spend every day, at some point every day, I will sit and oogle over other people's work, over their prep quality, over their filing, their shaping, their structure. But I think curiosity and that obsession with it is what makes you better at what you do anyway. If you haven't got that passion and that, oh no, that song's in my head, more passion, more energy, more footwork. Okay, that's done, cut, right. Yeah, if you haven't got that drive, let's use the word drive. Driving home for Christmas. Yeah, all right. Then you're not going to progress. You have to always kind of have that curiosity and how can I do this better? What's that? Oh my God, this is amazing. Like, I don't know where all these people get their ideas from. And I expect there's people have said to me, I don't know where you get your ideas from. I don't know. I think I watch a lot of content and I look at a lot of pictures, and then what happens is it's like if you put all the bingo balls in that machine and then they get turned around and then a few pop out. That's sort of what happens, isn't it? You experience this data upload in your brain and you fill your brain with all this information, and somewhere along the line some of it sticks and it processes, and the bits that don't stick you just go back and do it again, but never stop learning. And once you kind of don't want to learn anymore and you lose your passion, I think that's when it becomes really tricky. And I've been there. Luckily I'm back in the passion zone. So speaking of which, I hope you all had a lovely Valentine's. I hope it was delightful and you got treated like the amazing people that you are. Well, as you can see here, I'm just doing the prep on the cuticle work on all the nails. This bit is really, really good. I'm trying to avoid touching the nail plate with these as much as possible because we don't want to overfile that really soft area where the lunula is. I can never say that word properly. And then I'm going to go and trim the non-living tissue, trim the flap. Dear, trim your flaps. Hashtag trim your flaps. Oh dear, I said it. Can we start it though? Should we start a movement? I really think we should. Can we have t-shirts? Hashtag trim your flaps. I'm going to get age restricted. Yeah, so trimming the non-living tissue. Pull yourself together. So you stop laughing. What are you drinking, by the way? I've got a very cold cup of tea. And it's not Yorkshire tea either, it's PG Tips. I can't remember, I got my son to pick me up tea bags and he grabbed PG Tips and I didn't have the heart to go, what is that? It's actually quite nice. Don't tell Yorkshire tea that I said that though, because I am their biggest fan. So as you can see, my flaps are trimmed. I've just got one more to go. On the pinky, I'm going to be keeping the nail as it is. I'm just going to trim it down. I'm not going to sculpt on the pinky because that nail is actually in good nick. So I'm going to keep that. Now I'm just doing the little polishy around the sides. I just wanted to see how it was when I used it. Did it make a difference? Yes, it did. Would I use it again? Yes, I would. And I will try at the end the trick with the cuticle oil, I think. Unless I decide to get prep powder, but I don't know what it does or what it is. And I haven't been bothered to look. So if you, like I said, if you use it or know what it is, let me know. Okay, so now I am going to take the 180 grit, which is the softest side of my file. I'm not applying pressure. I'm just going to etch the nail surface, but I'm not pressing down. I don't want to damage these nails. They're already quite thin and just not growing very steadily. So the last thing I want to do is thin them out and damage them or overfile them. I just want to really, and that's why I'm kind of slowly going over the same area, just really gently buffing it. I know there's non-living tissue there, so I will go right into the lateral proximal nail fold areas just to make sure that that non-living tissue that was stuck to the nail plate is removed. But you're better off doing that gently than kind of pressing down hard, because you'll find yourself going back over areas, and if you've got too much force, then you will damage the nail. I could have used my e-file bit for this, but with my non-dominant hand, I just thought, I've got the file in my hand, it's easy peasy, isn't it? Easy peasy. They're short nails, it's easy. I'm trying to even out the shape of the free edge, even though the free edge is incredibly wonky. Look at it. So wonky. And then we'll do the same again, just with the prep. I've sped it up now. I don't work that fast. I wish I did. I wish you could press fast forward on yourself. Do you know what I mean? And do a set of nails in 10 minutes. Because I get bored halfway through. Even when I'm doing other people's nails, I get fizzy legs. I'm like, I need to go and jump about. So keeping that nice and light pressure, and then dusting off with my nail brush, just because the reason I'm dusting off is so I can have another look at the surface of the nail, see if I've missed any bits, because I'm not applying much pressure. I can't, it sounds weird, but you can feel more when you apply a little bit more pressure, but I don't want to. So I'm just being extra gentle, but maybe 1 or 2 passes instead of just 1. And on this pinky, I'm going to try and bring that shape down, keep the sides nice and strong. So you don't want to file away the side of the nail too much, because that's where your strength is, like in the structure of the nail. So I'm rounding that free edge and bringing the length down, because I don't want to extend the others too long. I literally want them to be at the tip of my fingers, looking really natural, just so they can heal and grow out and give them a little bit of a start. Now, I did film putting this form on, but it was out of shot, so I've just not included it, but I've applied the form. I'm using the Nailmate forms. They're super, super sticky and really strong. Like, they're not thin, they're really strong. The system I'm using it was branded Nail Perfect, but now it's Desire Nails, I believe. And it's from Dorota Politska. She's taken over the brand, as last I knew anyway. I'm pretty sure that's the case. And I just have a lot of the hard gel still left. So although it's running low, I will have to get more. I am starting to run low. And with this system, you don't need a base coat. You just dehydrate, prime, which you saw me do, and then scrub a thin layer into the nail plate. And I'm trying to get, you see with that area where it's broken, I'm trying to get in and around there so that it's all sticky like Velcro. Full cure for 1 minute. And then I'm going to apply a little bit more as a slip layer, which you don't really need to do. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I just sort of did it, but I don't think I did it for all of them, which is funny, isn't it? Okay, and then I'm going to come in with a slightly larger pearl of hard gel. It's a fibre gel, but it doesn't look like a fibre gel. Like, I've seen some fibre gel that look like they have pieces in them. This does not. It's just a really strong gel. And I really like it. It's not a thick viscosity. It will self-level and it will run. So you have to watch your placement and your hand levels so that it doesn't like fall into the sidewalls, and that is easily done. But just work in smaller pearls if that's the case. Like, it's much easier to do a bit, cure it, do a bit, cure it, and then you avoid heat spikes. With hard gel, if you apply a lot of product, there is a risk of a heat spike. If your client gets a heat spike, just ask them to bring their fingers out a little bit and give them a wiggle. They will cool down instantly. It's just a chemical reaction. And that is more common if you've got either thick layers of product or thin nail plate. Now I've applied my pretend free edge, my extended, and like I said, it's not long or anything. And I'm just taking my liner brush to see if I found it easier to kind of work with the placement. And it was a little bit easier. Just kind of jiggery pokery in it around. It's not going to look perfect instantly because the nail underneath is at a really uneven angle. But by the time it's all done and finished and I've moved the product around and got it where I want it and given it a little file, it will look really, really nice. And I actually did put a thing on Instagram saying, do you think this is natural nails or extensions? And people thought it was natural, which is the idea. You've still got the lunula in view. Lunula, oh God, don't even ask me to say it. So you've still got that shadow of that half moon shape in view there. So it looks very natural. In the lamp she goes. And then I'm just going to reinforce that slight extended area because that's where it's going to be weak. If it's going to break anywhere, that's kind of where it's going to break. That's your stress point, obviously, from the free edge. So I'm just really thinking about short and strong with these nails. There we are. Don't need the excess, just keep it nice and neat. And I am just literally making sure I'm not adding length unnecessarily because that's just going to be more to file back afterwards. And once I'm happy again, I will flip my nail over for like 10 seconds just to give it a level. I'm adding a little bit back here where there's the apex. It doesn't need to be an awful lot of apex again. I'm just making sure there's a nice even coverage throughout. And it doesn't matter if you build it up in smaller beads. Like with acrylic, it really doesn't matter. You can work at whatever pace you want. Obviously, like I said, there's less risk of heat spikes if you've got smaller pearls of gel with regards to the chemical reaction side of it. And I'm just tipping it upside down, having a quick look. Once I'm happy, she goes in the lamp, gave her a file, and that's the finished thumbnail. See, nice and thin, quite natural looking, doesn't look like anything special, which is what I wanted. I just want them to fade into the background while my nails underneath heal. I don't want them to look like I've done my nails. I don't want it to be like, oh, what's that? I just want it natural. I mean, I don't, my inner nail obsessive wants 3-inch long stilettos dripping with bling, but no, got to be sensible. So I'm just applying Madame Glam's No Wipe high gloss top coat. It's really glossy, it's really good quality, and it will keep these nails looking beautiful. Look how dry my hands look. That's just the dust. Dusty crusty. Right, in the lamp she goes. You see, you've got that, it looks like a natural free edge. I've managed to keep in some of the footage from me adapting the form for my index finger. She wasn't too difficult to do, actually. Some of it seems a little bit out of focus, but I think I'd zoomed in my camera and I think I'd zoomed it in too much. So then it was like, oh, a little bit wonky, but I've rectified that for future filming. I'm really having issues with just my whole setup with the lighting. My lights are on they're falling apart, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. They're falling apart and it's money, money, money all the time, isn't it? So I don't really want to buy any more. I'm going to make them last until they are literally dying on their last breath. But one of them is just, the screws just ping out of them all of a sudden. And then the arm of the light doesn't work properly and it's sort of hanging. I have had them for years, so I get it. But just, why does everything break at once? Same with my nail lamp. Right. Again, dehydrated and primed, form's on. I know it looks wonky, but it's not. It's fine. It's all good. I have my finger turns in. Oh my God, that reminds me of that skit. No, honey, that your finger do like that. I do have wonky fingers. They are very wonky. And if I was doing a long extension, I would completely correct it with the form and straighten it. But I'm not, am I? I'm not going past my free edge, so it doesn't really matter. And again, same thing. I've done my initial scrub layer in the lamp for 60 seconds and then a nice juicy pearl. There is something beautiful about product application, isn't there? I don't really care what it is. I just like watching nails. I watch nails every morning when I'm getting ready. I have a nail video playing. And then if I'm not doing that, when I have like my chill time during the day, because you have to carve out a little bit of time, right? Then I literally watch nails, like TikTok nails, or YouTube nails, or Instagram nails. It's not even boring because everybody creates something different. You'll never get bored, unless it was like everyone doing the same crap. Then it would be really boring. But it's not, is it? Everyone's being different. That's what makes it fun. So again, I'm doing it in stages. So I'll do a bit, cure a bit, do a bit, cure a bit, build up that free edge. Looking nice. Blend it back a little bit. See, easy peasy. Just gonna sort of, I don't know what the word is. Not sculpting. Well, I suppose I am sculpting, but neaten up the free edge. That's what I'm saying. I don't need the length there. You will, like with gel, you often get a little bit like that. Can you see where it's sort of just a little tiny thin bit, but it doesn't matter. That's just filing off. See how sticky these forms are? They will not budge once you've got them in place, but that's what you need. The last thing you want is nail forms that wiggle around because you'll lose your shape and structure. So I'm removing the tacky layer. And then we'll get on and file off that bit at the end. And then I'm just going to neaten up the sidewalls. Very, very tiny anyway. Not a lot to do. And hard gel files really gently and soft. It's beautiful. It's not a lot of effort at all. Just need a 180 grit file, nothing harsher. Once I'm happy with that, I'm just going to file the body of the nail as well. Neaten up around the cuticle. And it didn't take much work. And then I'm going to dust her off and go in with the top coat. Very easy. And as you can see again, yes, it's got a colour to it, but it's kind of like a natural glow. It's a very neutral looking shade. It could just be that those are your natural nails with a little bit of nail polish on top, and nobody would know. Nobody would know. And that's what you want. Well, that's what I wanted anyway. That natural look. See? Beautiful. I actually went to bed at this point and then got up the next day and did the next ones because I was feeling tired and I couldn't concentrate anymore. So, oh, there's my cat. Hello, Misha. Applying the form, I had to do some adaptations because of the position of my hyponychium. I've got more of a sort of flat, square space there. My nails are really strange because actually when they do grow independently, they curl inwards incredibly deeply, and like no matter what I put on them, they will pull away. I can't grow. You know these ladies that have complete overlays in their long nails? I can't do that. My nails pull away. They hook inwards, like down and under, almost like if an ingrown toe. It's a bit like that. So once I've got that form nice, I've snipped the sides so that it pings up to sit under my C-curve. Otherwise you'll have a gap between your nail, like your hyponychium and the form, and then the product will soak in under there and you don't want that. So you need to snip those sides so the form bounces up and arches to sit with your natural arch. Dehydrate and prime. You don't need to flood it with primer, just a bit. And then in with application again. See, I am running low on my gel. I think I've got a tiny bit in another pot as well. But I'm definitely running low. And I have sped up the application because otherwise I do believe you would be quite bored. Have you done your nails yet? And if you have, what's on them? And if you did Valentine's nails like a week and a half ago, are you thinking, God, I better get those off now? I was supposed to do a set. I promised I'd do it. Abby was even in on it, like giving me ideas and stuff. But I've got something else in the pipeline that I'm working on, and it's become a little bit of an obsession. And I don't want to tell you yet. It's like my brain is spinning with the excitement of it, but it's an awful lot of work and it's taking me a lot longer than I thought it would. So I'm hoping to have it done this week or next week coming. I'm on, what are we, Saturday the 15th when I'm doing this voiceover. So this coming week, I'm hoping to have the footage for you of what I've been working on. And hopefully the idea that's in my head will be transferred onto nails. I mean, I've done a mood board and everything. I'm fully invested. I don't normally go that far. Right, same again. I've laid it out. I've flipped it upside down. I'm checking that it's cured. And I took the form off on this one. And I was like, oh, that's a little bit thin. She's a little bit skinny. So I believe that I opted to go in and just add some more product. Yes, I think this is the one. That I went in and thought, oh, I need to reinforce that a little bit. She's a little bit skinny. Or did I not? Did I? Maybe it wasn't that one. I'm not sure now. No, I'm sure I did. Am I going mad? Yeah, maybe I am going mad. I think I am going mad. Maybe it's the next one then that I do it. I know one of them I do. I go back in and go, oh, I'll just add a little bit more to that. Right, so this is the last one I'm going to sculpt. Let's just get that form fitted. And I've adapted the form again for this one, just to get it in line. So I've used the tab. Oh, that was my door knocking. Yeah, I've used the tab obviously to add a little bit more there so that I can line up the form with my hyponychium. Pinch, pinch, pinch all the way down, lining everything up. Make sure I'm happy. Nip the sides so that she springs back up. See how strong these forms are though? So, so good. I feel like I'm getting to the end of the roll, but I don't think I am. It's just that it's such a massive roll. They're starting to curl. I think what I'm going to do is actually take them all off, flatten them, and then pin them, like put a clip on them so that they don't curl inwards so much. And then I'm just going to dehydrate. You know the score. And then a bit of primer. Happy days. Not too much again. Don't need to flood it. And then we'll go in and put the scrub layer down. Scrub it up, dup. Scrub it up, dup. 3 minute it up. Lovely. And then once I'm happy with that little thin layer, that will go in the lamp for uno minuto. And then in with a bigger pearl. And we'll start building up that nail again. Placing everything where I need it to be. Making it all nice and neat. Absolutely beautiful. Extending that free edge just a little bit. Nice and natural still. Doesn't sound like me, does it? Oh, nice and natural. What's that about? Dear. Flipped upside down. Oh, this is the one. I took the form off and I was like, yeah, I need a little bit more on that free edge. I knew it. I blimmin' knew it. I knew I wasn't going mad. I'd just been a bit excited and premature with taking the form off and realised it was still a little bit thin. So just don't need the form back on. The structures, the basics shape's already there, so you can just add to the structure. And I just did that until I was happy with it. See, just freeballing it. And then she went into the lamp for another minute. And then once I was happy, I removed the tacky layer of that one. The pinky was even easier because that was just an overlay. I did not need to worry about a form fitting or anything like that. So I've just dehydrated, gone in with primer, and then I'm just doing, I will still do a scrub layer obviously, but I don't need to fit a form or worry about anything like that. Okay, so in with the scrub layer. Thin little scrub layer. Look, my nails are so tiny. Such a tiny little pinky. And then she'll go in the lamp for 1 minute. And when she comes out, I will apply the rest of the product. Little pearl. Obviously, I'm not tilting my nails down as much as I would if I was working on a client or working off camera. I'm keeping my nails upright. So there's more risk of it kind of flooding back, and it does more frequently because I'm not at the right angle. If I changed my camera angle, I could possibly sort that out, but don't really know. I'll have to think about that. It's no biggie at the moment because I know to check for it. You get used to it. Once I'm happy, I will, there you go, flooding a bit there. I will get it cured, and now we're just on to the filing side. So I'm just levelling out my free edges, checking the side walls there, making sure I don't file them away. I need that side structure. I need that straight line coming out from the nail so that I've got that support, that strength, that structure. And then I am literally just filing the free edge. I don't want sharp corners. I want it more natural looking. And then I'll file through the body of the nail as well, and just allow it to set at a level that's like not too thick, not too thin, just enough strength but not bulky. I remember when I was sort of a newer nail tech, I was convinced that I couldn't do short nails because they just always looked so bulky. Like, it just was impossible. But obviously that's not the case. And so far, one did break the other day, but that's because I had an incident with the dog. Where his lead was in my hand, and it's my right hand, and obviously there's arthritis in my right hand. It was really cold and I couldn't grip properly, and it's like a plastic extendy lead thing, and he ran off like to chase something, and the thing pinged out of my hand because I couldn't grip it. My thumb just does not grip very well, and it smacked into my nail and just chipped it, but I just fixed it the next day. I literally just buffed the nail, hooked a form underneath and filled it in like polyfiller in a wall. So they've all been filed down and dehydrated, and I'll top coat now. And then once top coated, I'll let it cure for a minute in the lamp, and then cool down a little bit, just for like 30 seconds to a minute before going in with any cuticle oil, because I don't want to dull down the shine. And also I don't want to put cuticle oil all over the nail. That doesn't need it. That's not the bit that needs it. It's the skin surrounding. And I cuticle oil the hypernicum as well, because I think they just get like poked and prodded and battered and dried with all these chemicals. So, give it a nice dose of Tropic Like It's Hot, which smells amazing. It's like a pineapple-y mango tropical smell. And can you see, look, not too thick, not too thin, nice and natural looking, very demure, very cutesy. Look at that. I'm really proud of these, and I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I will see you in my next one. So until then, bye.